this works. I don't want to do this twice. Hey, Grubgun here. Look, I'm back, everyone. In 1080p. So you get to see all the details. You get to see the actual beauty that is this. I'm back, everyone. So this is grupdate 3.0. A few updates on the camper plan. I've made it's an executive decision. Many meetings took place about this, and I did have to have 2 or 3 focus groups come in and discuss the possibilities. But my original plan was the pickup truck with the camper sitting on the back, right? Now, I thought to myself about this for quite some time, and I came very close to buying a pickup truck. But the fact of the matter is if I'm going to be staying in the city here, it's going to be pretty hard to use that as an actual vehicle. Now, granted, I had the idea of buying a little Honda scooter, like a 50cc scooter, and using that as my vehicle to get around. But then that just leaves the giant pickup truck with a camper on the back fucking sitting there for a couple of years, basically not being used very much. And I mean, you can't just leave a fucking vehicle with a camper on the back and hardly use it and not fucking be a little heady. You know what I mean? It's gonna, if not attract attention, be kind of useless, because what's the point in having something like that if I can't use the vehicle? So it's like I've moved on to step 4 of a plan without having taken the other steps. So what the plan is now, and this is just preliminary plan, this is the beginning part of it, and you gotta start out small. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a minivan. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Gee, Grub, you in a minivan? I mean, I'm sure your dreams are all shattered now. You're all sitting there, you're shaking probably, you're in a state of extreme confusion. You probably have, like, your heart's palpitating, and you're probably acting out violently. But let me just say, calm down, because it's okay. Sorry, I have a cold. So that's why I sound like shit, and I'm fucking clearing my throat all the time. And coughing. So, I'm gonna buy a minivan, right? And I'm gonna fucking haul the seats out of the back of her. And I'm gonna fucking stay in there. I'm gonna make that a little tiny van house. I've been doing the research on it, about Vanlife. And for the time being, in the beginning, in order to start accumulating Skrilla without having the output of a lot of Skrilla, like for a pickup truck and a camper on the back, and the fucking, pickup truck and a camper on the back, you're looking at maybe upwards of 4 or 5 grand. With a fucking minivan, I can do all this for a couple of grand. The minivan doesn't have to be fucking brand new. I'm not Mr. like, look, I'm buying a fucking $17,000 van so I can sleep in the back of it. There's no point. Buy a fucking 2002 Honda Odyssey and fucking haul the seats out of her and fucking sleep in her. I've been looking online on websites about doing this and how you do this in a fucking minivan, And the cool thing about it is that the minivan can actually be driven around without fucking having, 1,000 pounds of fucking camper on the back. So that's the update. And as far as like getting rid of my shit, I mean, that's fucking hard work. From going to Mr. Collector, who has tons of shit in his house, to getting rid of everything so that he can live in a van. Dude, you can't do that in a couple of months. It's fucking mental. But as soon as possible, like within the next 2 weeks, I'll have this minivan. That'll be probably grupdate 4.0 when I get the minivan. And then after that, the videos will be more frequent as I doctor up the back of it and fucking, grubify the fucking camper so that, I'm comfy in the cocksucker, you know what I'm saying? And, without the help of others, like family members and shit, I wouldn't be able to do this. But every single person who I've talked to who, well, except for my mother, she still thinks I'm fucking nuts, has offered, be like, yeah, you can use my shower, you know what I mean? You can rock a piss in my fucking house, if you need to make tea for your thermos, you can come in and use our stove. So it's all like above board there, you know what I mean? And like I know, people are gonna nitpick on that one. Well, you're not really living the van life then, because, fucking you have to live completely in the van, and, you're basically a fucking faker. Yeah, you do it then. How about that? How about you fucking move your shit into the back of a van and fucking, what are you gonna do? Fucking piss in an old milk jug? Fucking have piss jugs on the go? Fucking shit in a pizza box? Is that what you're gonna do? No, you're gonna figure out a fucking way of doing that, and that's what I'm doing. And, that's the thing, is that this is all for the Skrilla. This is all for the end result. The end result of drinking coffee made out of fucking water that's in a running creek, and I'm in a fucking hammock somewhere in the fucking interior of BC, not having to worry about fucking working my fucking ass off the rest of my life. So it's the means to an end. If I gotta be uncomfortable in a fucking minivan for a year and a half or 2 years or whatever, listen, I'm not winning the lottery anytime too soon. So it's gotta be done. And the minivan is what's gonna happen. So, like I said, within the next couple of weeks, that's taking place. I need to fucking start getting rid of fucking furniture, and I'm gonna make a fucking list of the shit that I'm gonna need in my fucking minivan in order to survive, like, the power inverter and the battery and the fucking, that kind of shit. There's a website I've been looking at, I don't remember what it was called, but it's how to, like, do that to a minivan. And so, yeah, that's the plan. The grupdate is minivan. And, I may be sleeping in a van by the river, but, when you're getting paid to do it, who gives a shit, right? So yeah, it's a hard job getting rid of fucking 20 years of collecting. And, most of the stuff I'm just gonna fucking give to a fucking thrift store or something, like my bookcases and my fucking dishes and all that, all the fucking bullshit, the peripheral shit that I'm not gonna use. I'll have a Coleman stove, I'll have a pot, I'll have a pan, you know what I mean? You'll see me. That's the thing, like, I'll be doing things like, I'm gonna cook breakfast at the beach. I'll film that, you know what I mean? I'm gonna fucking drive up to this place and drive over here and fucking, it's all content as far as I'm concerned. And you can either come along for the fucking ride or, this is the old double whammy, take a fucking walk as far as I'm concerned. And so, yeah, that's it. Grupdate 4.0, 3.0, next stop fucking minivan. Okay, so this has been Grub Gun. This is a short video because there's nothing else to talk about. Oh, you want some video game stuff? I'm playing Uncharted 4, and that's a really good game. Okay, so this has been Grub Guy signing out. 1080p. Is this working? Did I do it?